If you're looking to get the most out of your networking events, our Grandma Dottie networking tips are exactly what you need. Hey, lady bosses, are you working even after putting the kids to bed but still not getting results?
Are you tired of spending money on ads that aren't getting engagement?
Do you feel burdened that you aren't fulfilling your purpose in life because you are so consumed with work?
I'm your host, Brooke Boltz. I'm an attorney and founder of Boltz Legal. I started my business and in 1 year was bringing in 7 figures and am now bringing in multi-7 figures.
And I'm your co-host, Rachel Boltz, owner of Boltz Media. I've helped many businesses build their online presence and increase their revenue through digital marketing.
Want to hear how we did it?
We are here to help you achieve your goals personally, professionally, and spiritually.
So kick off your high heels, sit back, and let's ignite that passion.
We're Miss Biz, where we're putting the miss in biz.
Let's get biz done.
To know Grandma Dottie was an absolute pleasure. If you would see her out in public or even just casually dressed around the house, she always had her makeup done perfectly. There wasn't a hair out of place, and she was always dressed to the nines. But in addition to how well she took care of herself, she was also an incredibly resourceful woman.
So Grandma Dottie passed away earlier this year, but she left us with so many wonderful memories. And one of those things I call Grandma Dottie networking. Not because she was a networker herself, she was in her younger days, but because of how efficient and resourceful she was. Grandma Dottie did not throw things away. I don't think a milk jug ever touched her trash can in her 94 years of life. You know when you go to the grocery store and they give you your deli meat in a little like Ziploc baggie?
Yeah.
She would wash those things out and use them to store her receipts.
That is a whole nother level.
Yes. The little yellow prescription bottles that you get from the pharmacy, yeah. She would put buttons in those, and that would be her button storage container. She used everything for multiple different purposes and always made the most of every product or item that came into her house. And so that is the approach that I am learning with regard to networking, is to make every moment count, to plan ahead for the networking meetings that you're going to go to have a strategy going into them, and then to have the follow-up afterwards that makes it a successful endeavor. Because at the end of the day, our time is our most valuable asset. And if we're going to be going to these networking events anyways, why not make them work for our business?
That is such a great point, because how many times do we just go to a networking event, just show up, talk to a couple people, and then that's it? Nothing else transpires after that.
And that's exactly what I've done dozens of times. I put it on the calendar, and then the day before, I'm like, oh, that's tomorrow? Okay, let me register. And then I show up, I walk in, I am kind of having an internal panic attack. Who do I know here? Do I know anyone? Who can I talk to? Where am I going to sit? And then I am like, oh, I see one person I recognize. I go over and spend the rest of the night talking to that one person I recognize. And then I go home and never think of it again. And that's not a waste of time, because even that one person that I spent time talking to is important, because we've learned in a prior episode that it takes 50 hours to form just a casual relationship with someone, 90 hours to form a real relationship, and 200 hours to form a close friendship. So spending time with someone you already know still is getting you further along.
Right.
in those hours banked, but it's really not going to be the best strategy to grow your business.
Yeah, because you're limiting the amount of opportunities that you have to develop new relationships if you're not being strategic about it.
Exactly. So if you've ever fallen into one of those habits, that we're gonna take you through a checklist of sorts to help you make the most of networking events. Do you love the Miss Biz podcast?
Because we love you.
Here's 3 things you can do to show your support.
1, write us a review. Apple, Spotify, and Google My Business are the best platforms to write a review.
2, follow us on social media. Our handle is @MissBizPodcast.
3, join our Facebook group, Miss Biz Nation, for exclusive content and behind-the-scenes footage. Also, ask questions related to your business and discuss topics from our episodes.
And first is before you get there. So you should invite people to go with you. It is so much easier to invite someone to go to someone else's event than to invite them to go to your own event or to invite them even to lunch. I mean, Rachel, what's an example of someone who would solicit you for business? Like when you hear their name, you're like, not their name, but their business, you're like, oh, they're just looking for me to give them business.
Every day on LinkedIn. Every single day on LinkedIn.
So what's an example of a type of business, though, that solicits you?
A type of business that solicits me would be pretty much anybody that does what I do already, or business coaches. Those are the 2 primary people.
Okay, so let's say I'm a business coach and I'm like, Rachel, would you like to go to lunch? What are you going to think? And what's your first thought going to be?
I think it depends on how they say it. A lot of times there's some sort of picture. You can just tell, you get that feeling. So I would probably say, let me check my calendar and I'll get back to you on that.
Right. And that's what happens to a lot of us, because when we go into networking events, we're like, ooh, that's a person that I can solicit to. Let me run over. And well, this is not everybody, right? Some people are like me who just talk to the people that they know, but other people go in with a more aggressive approach to, let me find all the people who could use my services and let me give them a little sales pitch and then invite them to go to lunch, which is going to be just a longer version of a sales pitch. Mm-hmm. And so that is the mentality that people have sometimes when you're approaching them is what Rachel said. Let me check my calendar. I don't know. Like, is this going to be worth my time? Am I going to get anything out of this lunch meeting? If I go give my most valuable asset to this person. But if you approach the invite in a different way, then you may have better success. So rather than, if I'm a business coach, rather than saying, hey, Rachel, can we go to lunch, where you're going to be thinking, great, I'm going to listen to an hour-long solicitation. If I said to you, Rachel, there is a women's networking lunch that's coming up, and there is X, Y, and Z other women business professionals there that I'd like to introduce you to, that you maybe could have a mutually beneficial relationship. Would you be interested in going to that women's lunch?
Absolutely, because I can see that there's going to be some type of reward or benefit involved in it, and it would be a good investment of my time.
Are you going to be afraid at that point that I'm going to be soliciting you for an hour?
No.
Right. The guard is down. And they are now looking at this as an opportunity to network with other women. It's something that can benefit you and also can benefit me because we're getting to know each other better.
Right.
So this is the strategy in which you should invite people. You should invite the people who you want to get to know better. Maybe you met them somewhere and got a business card, but when you ask them to go to lunch, they're going to have that immediate guard up of this is going to be a solicitation lunch. So a better way to approach it is, would you like to go to this networking event with me? There's this and this person there I'd like to introduce you to.
I love that. That's a great point.
So but you can't do that unless you plan ahead. So about a week in advance, you got to be looking at your calendar and seeing, okay, next week is this event. Let me pick up my phone book and look for who I would like to get to know better that I can invite with me to go with me to this event. Also, inviting people there is going to ensure that you have familiar faces there when you get there. So it's going to help with your anxiety of walking into a room and not knowing who to talk to, because at least the people you've invited are going to be there, and all right, I'm going to have someone to talk to if all else fails.
Yeah. I think it's a good way to attract other people to you too, because usually people will see, some people talking and getting along and engaging well with each other, and they'll want to be part of that conversation.
Yes. And two, you should invite people who you think might enjoy this meeting too, even if they're not necessarily someone who's in a direct referral relationship with you. It's not someone that you would work with on in your line of work. It's still, if it's benefiting them, then it's worth inviting them. You should invite them. So 2 types of people to invite: the ones you want to get to know better, and the ones that you already know, but you think would appreciate or benefit from this event.
I think it's also beneficial too if when you're at these networking events with people that you want to get to know better, if there are other people in the room that would be a good referral source or a good collaboration, to introduce them to one another so that they can then expand their network.
Yes. And that's why too, before doing this, you might want to go to one of the events first, or do your homework and find out who's going to be there, who are some of these people that you can introduce people to. Because when you meet someone new and you recognize, oh, this person would be a good connection for this person, you can only do that if you know who everybody is and what they do. Right. So your first time there, you may not know that, but just making a mental note and learning as much as you can about what people do and trying to introduce them to each other, they will appreciate you for doing that.
Many of our listeners know that I own Bolts Media, and we are a full-service digital marketing company. But not everyone may know that they can contact me. So I wanted to let everyone know today that if you have any questions, you need any advice, or you would like to book services, I would love to assist. You can reach me at boltsmedia.com. Fill out the contact form on my page, and I will reach out to you personally and schedule a free consultation to help guide you on your journey.
Bring physical business cards. Now,
it's so hard to remember to do.
I'm the worst at this, honestly, because I don't carry a purse, and so I never have business cards. Never. I will send, what I used to do is just send them, I made a little contact card on my phone, and I would just send them the contact card. And then they have it in their phone, so if they search for me. There's nothing wrong with doing that. That's good. But there is a benefit to physical business cards. And I did not believe this, but I have convinced myself otherwise now. I've abandoned my prior ways, because there's no better way to go around the room and get everybody's contact information in the room. And then even if you're saving it to your phone, you got to now remember what was their name, and remember that you met them there, and remember to go back and search in your phone. And you're just not going to, chances are less likely. Whereas if I can leave with a stack of 20 business cards from an event, then I can just go through those business cards later and categorize and follow up with whoever I need to follow up with. So the physical business cards is a must. As much as I'm terrible at this and hate carrying them around and always forget to, the digital business cards have a purpose, but for these particular types of networking events, I think you got to have physical business cards.
I keep a stack in my car. I keep a stack for just big stacks for everything, the podcast, everything, just so I always have it in my car available in case I forget to bring it in.
Yes. So next tip for making the most of your Grandma Dottie networking is arriving early and choosing your seat early, assuming that there's seats. Some networking events are stand only, but find where you're going to set your stuff, or if there's a table or wherever you're going to have as your command central. But arriving early and being kind of like a greeter as people arrive. This is a great way to find out who's in the room so that you can connect people as they come in. It's a great opportunity to have a short conversation, because sometimes once you get into, when it's not in a greeting setting, you end up spending an hour talking to that person and you didn't get to meet anybody else. But when you're kind of greeting them at the door, greeting them as they come in, it lends itself to a quick, "Hi, I'm Brooke. What do you do? There's food over here. Make yourself at home." Now, if you're not hosting the event, you might feel weird to do that, but you can still say, I'm so-and-so. What do you do? Have you been here before? It's so nice to meet you. It's a little 2-minute interaction that allows you to know can I have your business card? Here's mine. And then you go on to the next person. Because once they're already in the room, it's a little harder to interrupt people's conversations to introduce yourself and get their card. So that's why I think the best strategy is if you kind of get there early, situate yourself close to the door, and then as people come in, just run up and be the first person they talk to or the second person they talk to quickly figure out who they are, give them your card, get their card.
I love that, because I think not only does it ensure that you get to have touch points with almost every single attendee, but I also think that it's a way that you can really separate yourself from the crowd and be memorable, because you are one of the first people that they met at that event versus attendee number 50 that they spoke to that night.
And I can tell you right now, even if you're not the host of the event, the host is going to appreciate that, because the host is going to be running around, setting things up, making sure the food is ready, like doing all these things, and may not be able to greet everyone as they walk in the door. So having someone who's greeting people, making them feel welcome, and even if it's several people, the host is going to appreciate that.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, let's say your golden goose walks in the door, then you can say, "I've got a table over here. Would you like to sit with me?"
Right.
So you've already got a place set up and you're already welcoming them. And now that your golden goose is there, you can sit and spend some time with them and get to know them and have them close to you because you identified them right as they walked in the door and before they started finding a seat elsewhere. So now, once you're there, you've greeted the people, you've exchanged some business cards. I cannot tell you how important it is that you have to have a goal that you are going to get a business card of every single human being in that event before you leave. It's not always easy to do, but before I leave, I will walk around and I'm like, "Here's my card. Can I have yours? Can I have yours? Can I have yours?" And I'm just like, give me those cards, because this is a major mistake I've made in the past, is if I don't get those cards, then it's out of sight, out of mind. And it was a waste, because I met these people, we had great conversation, but I couldn't tell you what their name was. And so you've got to get those business cards. If you do nothing else but come away with a stack of business cards, it was a successful event.
Yeah. But that doesn't mean that you just collect the business cards and let them live in a drawer for
Correct. We're going to get to
months.
that.
Okay.
We're going to get to that for sure. But then so now let's say we're walking through the timeline of being at a networking event. You've greeted some people, you've met everyone as they came in, you got a bunch of business cards. Now you're taking a seat and starting some conversation. What are some tips for how to engage in that conversation?
Well, I think, and we referred to it in one of our prior episodes, following the frogs method, where you talk about family and your organization where you work for, things of that nature can just help remind you of the important things to talk about to keep the conversation flowing.
Yes, having that acronym and if you haven't listened to the episode, it was not long ago that we did that frogs episode. It gives you the acronym and tells you the things to have top of mind so that you can have a conversation easily, but also something to keep in the back of your mind as you're talking to someone. If this is someone that you want to grow in relationship with, if it's not, then use the frogs method. But if you have an opportunity to talk to someone who is a golden goose, and a golden goose is someone who has the ability to refer you business on an ongoing basis, in your mind, as you're talking to them, you should be thinking, what can I learn about this person that I can invite them to next? Because again, 50 hours to have a casual relationship. So this one day thing is not going to cut it. It's never going to be enough. So learning something about them that you can know what's a good thing to invite them to next, whether it's pickleball, they love pickleball, or whether their kid plays sports and what sports do they play. You can invite them with their kid to go watch a sports game, whether it's they love massages and you guys can have a spa day together. You got to figure out during that conversation, maybe they love coffee and just inviting them to a coffee appointment, or you find out that they love a certain restaurant and you can invite them to go to that restaurant. Try to figure out, what can I invite them to next that they would say yes to?
You can also use that same philosophy for gifting as well. So if you're writing down the things that they like, what they're interested in, and you happen to see that their birthday is coming up because you're friends on Facebook now, then you can have an idea of some type of gift to be able to send them just to make another impact.
Yes, and that would be, and when it comes to follow-up, for certain select people, sending a gift after the fact is very impactful. But as you're having this conversation, just keep in mind when they share something that you make a mental note of it, because your follow-up later is going to be, where do we go from here? Let's get together again. And what's something that they would like to do. Mm-hmm. So next is take a photo. Did it really happen? If you didn't take a photo.
No, if there's no pictures, there's no evidence.
Yes. So I'm terrible at remembering to do this sometimes, but you want to take a photo of being there. Sometimes there's a group photo, but if you take a photo with whoever the host is of the event, or you take a photo with the guest speaker of the event, that can be even a little bit better, because it adds some credibility to, look, here's Rachel with the host of this event, it makes you look like a big deal. So, and I don't think the host or the speaker would be offended. I think they'd be honored.
Right.
To be asked to take a photo. So if you're thinking, oh, I don't want to bother them, they'll think I'm weird. No, I don't think so. I think people are flattered.
Yeah. Just say, I want to make a post on Facebook and
yes.
would love to take a picture with you. Are you okay with that? And then you invite them to collaborate, you tag the location, and that adds that increased visibility that host is really going to appreciate.
So don't forget to take a photo. That is another step in the checklist. Take a photo while you're there. And we'll tell you some other things to do with that photo. Rachel told you some, but we'll have a couple others as well.
Finding guests for a podcast can be difficult sometimes, so Brooke and I wanted to let you guys know that we are available to appear on your podcast.
We also enjoy speaking at events, so if you have an event coming up, these jingles can go on the road.
Simply go to missbiz.com/contact, and in the subject line, write podcast guest or event speaker, and we'll reach out to you to further coordinate.
Okay, so also sponsoring the event. Let's talk quickly about that, because some events are really inexpensive to sponsor, but you also have to look at what you get for it. So this women's lunch that I have in mind is only $150 to sponsor, and you get to speak for 30 minutes.
That's great. You can't beat that.
You cannot beat that. So literally every woman that I see who has a business, I'm like, this is what you need to be doing. You need to sponsor this women's lunch and you need to speak for 30 minutes, because when you talk about going to a networking event, you sit down and you talk to some people and you talk about the know, like, and trust continuum. So if I'm not speaking at the event, I'm gonna maybe if I do this strategy and I give everyone my business card, maybe they'll know me, but I don't even know if that's enough. I don't even know if they're going to really know me. Like, they're really going to remember my name if they heard it a week later from that. But the people I sit with and talk with at the table, they'll probably know me. They might like me, maybe even trust me, but I think that's a lot to do in one conversation.
I think it's definitely a great way to start building trust, though.
Correct. Agreed. But if you're the speaker in the front of the room, you're going to have everybody in that room is going to know you, because they're going to remember that you were the speaker. A lot of them are going to like you. And some of them might even trust you, because in that 30 minutes, you can share stories and things about yourself that can impact them. And within that 30 minutes, you might have a room full of women who now know, like, and trust you, which you could not have done in any other way.
It's a great way to make a good first impression. First impressions make such a significant impact. So being able to have that opportunity to speak in front of everyone, to make an impact or influence or whatever your primary goal is of the meeting, to give them some sort of takeaway, is going to leave a lasting impression on them.
It also puts you in a position of where you look like an authority figure, because you're speaking. And that is critical, because people want to meet you. They want to get to know you. They think you're a big deal. They want to get a picture with you when you're that person. But if you're just one of the people walking around networking, look, we're teaching you how to make the most of that too. But if there's an opportunity to sponsor, which allows for you to speak, and it's affordable and a reasonable price, that is a way to level up your networking experience at a specific event.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what's the hardest part of hosting a networking event?
There are a few big things that are challenging. I think one of the first things is like inviting people and getting people to show up. I think that is the most difficult part.
Hands down, that is the most difficult part. I mean, look, ordering some food and getting a guest speaker and like all of that is nothing in comparison to getting people to show up. There are networking events all over the place all the time, and getting people there is the hardest part. So that's why if you sponsor and speak at an event, they've done the hard part. They've got the audience there for you.
Right.
And all you've got to do is show up and speak to they assembled that audience for you. So for $150, like, you cannot beat that for our local Chamber of Commerce women's lunches. Highly, highly recommend it. But look in your area, look around for these events that have an audience already that allow sponsorships that also give you time to talk. You don't need 30 minutes. 10 minutes, even 5 minutes is enough. But if they don't offer that as part of the sponsorship, then ask for it. Say, when they ask you to sponsor, say, I'd love to sponsor, but what I value the most beyond just having my logo around is to have an opportunity to speak to the audience. Is that something we could include?
Right.
And if you don't know unless you try, unless you ask. So yeah, they've done the hard part. They've assembled the audience. You having opportunities to speak to them for a little bit of money is a great way to make the most of your networking. Okay, so after the event, you got your stack of business cards. What do you do with them?
Well, ideally, you should be adding them to your subscriber list for your email marketing campaigns. I would also recommend programming them in your phone as well, just in case. And this is like dual purpose. Like, you may need to contact them. Maybe you have a referral form that you could send them, and you could communicate with them via text that way and start building that more personal relationship versus just email. But also, if you add them to your email campaign and they're not in your phone, you may be like 6 months later, who the heck is this? Whereas in your phone, when you put their contact information in, you can put, details that you remember. Like, I remember that they had a dog. I remember that they just got back from Paris. I remember that these are their top 3 referral sources. So you can add very personalized information into the contact form that will trigger your memory so that you can respond to them like you remember who they are.
Yes, I love that. And I didn't even think of that, putting them into my phone. That's something I don't think I've been doing. So I need to start doing that, adding them to my phone. I do add them to the email list. That's the first thing I do when I get those business cards, is add them to the email list. Again, email marketing is 40 times more effective than Facebook posts. People are 40 times more likely to respond and interact and make a purchase from an email than they are from a Facebook post. So if you don't have email marketing, it's very inexpensive and the return on investment is massive. So adding them to your email list is the first thing you should be doing.
And adding them onto Facebook as well. You should definitely try to become Facebook friends with them, so that you can tag them if somebody's searching for what they do. You can tag them on Facebook, because once you start giving to people, they automatically want to start giving to you as well.
Yes.
But maximizing those touch points will help you to develop a stronger relationship, versus just meeting one time and then hopefully seeing each other again in the future.
And adding them on LinkedIn too. I think Facebook and LinkedIn are the 2 places to add them once you have their business card. Then you want to post the photo on social media that you took. You also want to, so this is what I do. I write this fairly lengthy description, say 5 to 8 paragraphs about the event that goes with the photo. I post it on social media. I send it as an email, and I make a blog about it for every event that I go to. And
Grandma Dottie.
there you go. And it's a one and done. I write the article only one time, but then I put it on social media, email, and a blog for every event I go to. And so it lives on the website forever. It lives on social media forever, and people are getting the emails and they're seeing that I'm out and about. And it leaves the perception. People say to me, probably more than they say anything else to me when they meet me, is, I see your posts. You seem like how do you do it all? How are you all these places all the time? And I really am not. It just seems that way because I'm putting it out there on social media.
Yeah, you're documenting it.
Right. And if you're not doing that, if you're just going to the event and nobody knows about it on social media, then you're not making the most of it.
Correct.
Because perception is reality. What people perceive about you is what they believe about you. So if they're not seeing anything, then their perception is not changing from whatever they otherwise are believing about you. So you have to take that photo and post it. Also, go through the business cards and find those few that are the ones you want to follow up with. Everybody goes on the email list. Everybody goes in your phone. Everybody gets added to social media, but there's going to be a select few that you're going to want to build more upon. So figure out which ones those are, and then we're going to reach out to them directly. And so it's going to be, it was so nice to meet you. It could be by email, by text. It was so nice to meet you. And then we got to brainstorm, what do we invite them to next?
Right.
For me, I am a part of, and you too, we're both part of BNI, which is a weekly networking meeting. So I always look at those business cards to see, would any of these people be a good fit for BNI?
Right.
Because if they join BNI, I'm going to now be seeing them every week. Mm-hmm. So BNI kind of does that follow-up for me. If they come and visit BNI and join BNI, now I'm going to be seeing them every week. I don't have to schedule as many follow-up meetings because they're going to be seeing me every week already. So I go through and find the ones who's going to be a good fit to invite to BNI, who's going to be a good fit to go to coffee, to go to lunch, who's going to be a good fit to go to pickleball. Like, what did I learn about them that I can invite them to the next thing?
That's a great point.
So these are the ways to prepare for, attend, and follow up on networking events with the Grandma Dottie philosophy. And we've consolidated this all down to a checklist. And so if you would like to have a copy of this checklist that you can refer to whenever you're getting ready for a networking event, then just how can they let us know?
So you can send us an email to msbizpod, MSBIZPOD @gmail.com, and we'll email you the checklist.
Also, you can go to missbiz.com, and on the contact form, just write in the subject line, networking or Grandma Dottie checklist, and we'll get this checklist over to you. So hopefully you can start making the most of every networking opportunity.
We appreciate you and are honored to be on this journey with you. We can't wait to help you, to encourage you, and show you how to grow personally, professionally, and spiritually.
If you found Miss Biz helpful, please leave a review and share with others.
You can follow us on social media at Miss Biz Podcast.
For legal questions or services, please visit boltslegal.com.
And for digital marketing needs, please visit boltsmedia.com. Let's get biz done.